Welcome back, guys. So, as you can see, I managed to get the entire island terraformed and converted to grass. It goes all over there. That brown is just dirt. It'll change over time. But today's goal is we're going to work on the seawall, the actual wall that rings around the entire island. And I've developed a pattern for it. What we need is some of this. Okay, so it uses stone brick and oak planks. Okay, so the way it works is we'll start on the lowest possible spot, which is this one here, because it jumps up on that side and jumps up on that side. So what we do is on the actual edge block, we place every other stone, wood, stone, wood, stone, wood, etc. Right? Very simple pattern. Now, on these, because it would step up like that, we want to make sure that we don't have this type of effect. So I'm thinking what I might do is go out like 2 or 3, just so that they can't jump up and get out. I might even change how we transition, because normally, because they can obviously jump over this, we would have a stone brick cap, right? Which kind of completes a nice little enclosing effect. But by doing it here as well, we'll have a nice effect there, but that looks kind of funny. So I might consider taking and converting this into a stair, just to give it a bit more of a lift up to it. Actually kind of like that. I like that a lot. Anyways, that will continue all the way around. Now, because it's a repeating pattern of just like an odd number, like every other, it should go all the way around and be perfectly fine. There'll be a chunk missing there and there for towers, because there's going to be a bridge that goes across there. But from the inside, this is all it looks like. It's kind of plain, but it's effective. It works for what we want it to work for. The outside, however, is where it gets interesting. You see, the outside, we have to first carry the design down. Ooh, don't fall. So the design needs to be carried down below, like so. I'll just do a small bit on camera, and then the rest will be off camera. So it carries itself down. And then here, actually I guess we didn't really need to do that, because if I check the screenshot, no, we didn't need to do that, because technically all of this is supposed to be, can I back up far enough to do it? Stairs. Now when we change angles, we don't convert like this to go around. I find that very, although it looks more polished, it thickens it and it messes with the design quite a bit. Doesn't seem like it would, but it does. Whoops. The only problem with building in the water is it's well, you're in the water, so it's a little wobbly and crap. Now, we carried these pillars all the way down. So this one here will actually go all the way down until we hit something, like so. Then this one here will do the same. It will go down to here. Ooh, getting sucked in. Then the wooden will continue down to here. Now I know you're thinking, that's still not much of a design. And truthfully, it's really not. It's actually designed as a very simplistic effect, because I didn't want to have too much of a massive, intricate corners and stuff, because if you did that, there we go, we'll get in the boat. If we do anything super intricate, it won't necessarily work on all angles, because like if we did something that like had like arching or like circles built into it, it would conflict whenever you got to the corners, and it would make it look really kind of weird. But we're not technically done. We have all these little stone buttons, and I just got out of the boat. Okay, so we put a button on each one of the wooden panels, and because of the way it's designed, we can put it on all the wooden panels. And I guess we'll have to go up on that one. Right, and that's basically the look of it. So this needs to get replaced with stone, because we can see it from the other side. Come on, anytime now. Thank you. And then Everything else doesn't necessarily need to be replaced. I'm sinking. This is very far. Like, I didn't expect that to be that deep. Okay, so it goes across like this. Oops. Let's fix that. I wonder if I can work from the boat. Should probably try that. Just spin around. Can I actually work from the boat? It's probably a little bit hard to maneuver, but... Oh, you can. Perfect. Okay, so this also gets replaced. Oh, everything's slower in the boat. I think it assumes that you're swimming. Because now, here's the thing. Because we go up at this point, we actually need to change this a little bit. Because, and here's why, the design also needs to carry up. So the design actually puts these positionings at that. Okay, so those and theirs we'll just leave it because it's not worth it. And that obviously creates the lift that we need to get over the hump effect. I like working from the boat, but it's kind of awkward. So we back up and we go there. We also have to get out of it every once in a while in order to get this stuff done. So I won't do the whole wall on camera as stated. Just because it's tedious and stuff like that, and the next episode you see, it probably won't be completed at that time. That should be wood. More than likely, because this is, I should have told you this in the beginning, but this is actually the first episode of a bulk recording session that's going to probably have 2, possibly 3 separate episodes in it. I'm going to aim for 2, but I might be able to squeak out a 3rd. Now, the reason why I'm doing bulk is because I live in Ontario, okay, and Ontario right now is going through a pretty massive heat wave. We're at the end of it now, but it's still a heat wave, and heat waves suck. So that's the basic design of the wall. Seems to work really quite nicely, so I'm just going to chat and kind of move along the wall here, because I figure we can get, if we get the stone brick stuff laid down, we should be fine. We gotta make sure to stay at the edge. That'll be an interesting point. With that setup system. There we go. Pop, pop, pop. Because of this. That'll be very interesting. Whoops. Yeah, so the villagers from the inside will only see just the basic 1.5 wall with nothing, no studs or anything, because I don't want them to get caught on it. Plus, if we have the studs, it takes up space, right? And I don't want to take up any more space than I have to on the inside. I'm already consuming... I guess I'm shrinking the island a little bit because of the... Wow, that's some serious misclicking. Because of the actual wall taking up a block. But that, to me, is fine, because it still gives plenty of room. I mean, the villager houses that I'm building, they're only 5 by 3 on the inside. So they're not particularly big. We can probably fit one and then a road, and then another one, which is what I wanted, right? Just a central road going down with the villager houses on each side. Now we can continue this along this way, because we're also going to have to do this, and then I'm starting to fumble for things to say, and I do apologize. I have noticed that my style has changed. Just a random off-topic type thing here. I've been recently re-examining, thinking. I guess let's go with re-examining. Oh, that's not even technically land. Okay. Alright, what we'll do is we'll see if we can't get some dirt and fix that. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be land. Yes, it is. Okay, so pop that. We should have dirt over here, maybe. In this one. We have some dirt, not very much. We should have enough just based on what we have. Yeah, so I've been doing some re-examining of my style and how it's changed over time, and how it was when I first started the game back, when you're naive and you're just enjoying the game for the game, just kind of exploring and doing whatever. I've come to realize that my my style has changed quite dramatically. Come on. I've become, and for lack of better, things are already starting to spawn apparently. Lack of better definition, I've become cowardly, like ridiculously cowardly at that. I used to play in a world where it was always on hard difficulty, because, I don't need one there. Because I had a firm belief that when it came to the game, you should probably play it on the most difficult possible setting that you can do it, because that's kind of what it was. No, truth be told, most of the time the reason why I was playing on hard was because all of the mob systems and all the things that I was learning were from people who were YouTubers who were playing on hard. So it made sense for me to also play on hard. Right now we're on normal, just in case you're wondering. We are playing on normal. Because I've come to the realization that hard doesn't really affect anything other than it makes the enemies angrier. But it doesn't affect drops or anything like that. So it doesn't, like, what I'm trying to say is the game is geared for you to play on normal, for where the ore is and how it's dispersed and stuff like that. But turning it on hard just makes the enemies more aggressive and more angry and harder to kill. And I'm not entirely sure that's worth it in the long run. Wow, can you guys hear my fan going? It's just a humming. I'm gonna plug my cooling fan in. It's gonna get a little bit louder probably. Yeah, see, now you can hear it's much louder. I thought I could go an entire episode without it, but I think the heat is a little bit too much right now. So 3 is still there. Yeah, so my style has changed. Not only of just play, but also build. When I first started, my first building I built was this tiny little chicken coop. Because I had lived, I'd done the classic hidey hole system. You live in the ground. But the first above ground structure I'd made was a chicken coop. And it wasn't anything super fancy. I loved it. I thought it looked really good. But when everything was said and done, it's just a chicken coop, right? But that chicken coop, when I started a new world, because they had released jungle, the new biome of jungle, so I started a new world because it was a new terrain generation and I wanted to experience it. I started to use that chicken coop as my starter homes, and I guess the point I'm trying to get at is I actually enjoy tiny homes more than I enjoy large ones. Like this one over here is nice. Because we're recording and stuff, it makes sense for me to do a larger home like that. But, there we go. Whoops. Truth be told, if I could, I would tear it down and put in a smaller house. Just because I enjoy the tiny homes more. I've discovered this while playing multiplayer on just a little private server. And no, I can't record it. Well, I could, but I don't. I choose not to. It's kind of the world I go to that isn't monitored, isn't connected to the internet. It's just a basic LAN connection, for those who are wondering. So no, I don't actually have internet. I physically have to go to their place in order to play. But I'm there like every Sunday anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Just to hang out. But now, I digress. I've fallen back in love with the tiny homes, and I've realized that there's quite a bit about my styles that I've abandoned, almost. And I've been trying to recreate like a definitive, this is my style. Because to me, I always love. Well, there you go. The wall is technically sealed. Now I'm not going to put the cap on it yet because I need to be able to get in and out. And I guess we'll have to put the door there. I see you. Cheeky little bum. Oh, that was a little low. Got it. Yeah, so we'll need to build the bridge across there. So I think for now, we're just going to cut out 3, I guess. No, let's go 5. That way the bridge is 3 wide plus some sort of barricade. And that'll be our exit, which means we can cap the rest of this. We're going to run out of cap before I get to the end, I know. But anyways, so these... sorry about that. I've kind of gone over time. So I'm going to leave you here, and we'll start working on a different project when I get back. Yeah. So I'll see you when I see you.